All right, let's go and get started. Three, two, one. All right, welcome to Beyond the Forbidden. All right, I got my man, my bro, the myth, the legend. He doesn't live quite that far from me. And I'm telling you, I'm psyched, I'm stoked. And we're going to start doing more of these little, I guess, news updates, these little short interviews I'm going to try to pick his brain, see what's going on in his world, his side of things. And you go to his channel, Jimmy Roberts 1. Is that correct, Jimmy?
Well, it's the real Jimmy Roberts.
The real Jimmy Roberts. That's it. That's it. I actually automatically have it saved on my search function on my YouTube because I'll put on there because I go to it every now and then. It's one of the top results, so I just click it automatically. But so what in the hell are we going to be talking about today, man?
I want to talk about Mars real quick. What I want people to understand, and this is going to be on my channel also, and by the way, for everyone on my channel, The Real Jimmy Roberts 1, Michael here's a great guy. He's got a channel called Beyond the Forbidden. I'll put a link to it. You need to check him out. He does some really good interviews with some really good people. He had John Lear on there recently. And what I want to talk about.
Thank you. I'll pay you later.
Yeah, okay. We got you. I want everybody to understand something about Mars. We're being lied to. I think everyone knows by now that we can't completely trust NASA, but it's a lot deeper and a lot worse than what any of us realize. Some of us realize more than others. When we look at these images from Mars, most of the time, what we're seeing are the ones that they release to everybody. The news agencies pick them up, and people get all excited. Somebody Curiosity saw a shiny dot. What could it be? This is just lip service. It's all lip service. The methane gas, it's all lip service. Listen to me. Listen to me. It's been decades since they discovered annihilated civilization on Mars. It is absolute fact. I'm trying to show people in the way that I can through images. NASA, Malin, who makes the cameras, JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, they're all in on this, along with others. They are releasing images all the time with so much evidence in them. They skew the images. They make it hard to see a lot of it, but some of it is really, really evident. And there's thousands and thousands of them that people don't realize are there. First thing I want to do is I want everyone to understand where I'm getting these images. You need to, I'm going to put up a screen real quick here. Okay. This link right here, I will put it on my description of how to get here. If you will go to this, you can select by sol, that is Martian day, from the day it got there till the latest one they have is 2,443. And you can download these images in full resolution. It says raw images. Really, they're not. They've been tainted. They've been doctored. Absolutely. But this is where I'm getting them. You can go in here and find stuff from the nav cams to the mast cams to the HAZ cams. This is one of my favorite images because it is so simple. Do we see that? Okay, this is from Sol or Martian Day 0538, right mast cam. And what is this? Check in real close. We've got a big piece of cement right here. And this is not, there's even rebar type material in here. This is not just one little image that could be something else. There's thousands and thousands of images that are full of stuff like this. There is a civilization, actually we believe water ran through this area. This civilization was decimated and tens of thousands of years ago. And I'm going to tell you that it was war. A lot of people ask me, how do I know that? Well, we know it was nuclear. But this image is another one that I want people to be aware of if it's showing up. It is day 1452, if you want to look it up. And it's the left mast cam. People look at this and they just go right by it. You know, what's going on out there? And something that people on my channel, a few of them, especially the old professor, and he knows who he is, tells me, Jimmy, your stuff is great. We know this is going on, but sometimes a rock is just a rock. There's been times when I've said everything in this image is something other than a rock. What do I mean by that? I'm not saying there's no rocks on Mars. I'm saying like this image, look at this. First of all, you see that? Does that look like a rock to you back there?
Not at all, man. Not at all.
This is an absolutely phenomenal image. There's markings on this, whatever it was. This is a destroyed civilization. This thing was hit hard. That's what
is your temple? Well, what is your temple hat side of you say that is? Because to me, it looks like some type of engine.
It sort of does. If you'll notice right here, there appears to be a open spot right here where it appears to be round, and there's an open spot here. There's I can't tell if these are markings or part of the functionality. But if you continue to look, this is what I'm saying. Well, first of all, look back here in the back. You can see this. This is not natural. You know, these were structures. They were covered heavily with building material, and it is blown to smithereens. That's why I contend, and I will not come off of this, I'm sorry, that everything in this image that you are looking at, look at this, everything, all of this, everywhere, is something other than just a rock. Look at it. This is all strong evidence of what has gone on up there. I mean, to the smallest piece, this is all evidence. I understand if this was just passing by, you may not know. That is why I say this. If you go into a disaster area where there was a civilization, everything is evidence, everything. That's what I'm saying about this. And some people have a problem with that because they're not understanding the context of what I'm saying. They say, Jimmy, sometimes a rock is just a rock. I know this. But, you know, I'm real good at finding things like arrowheads. I walk along and I don't hunt them. I see them. I pick up spearheads that have been in the river that have been whittled on all the time when nobody else sees them. I have a sharp eye for things like this, for shapes. And it's no different with this, but you don't have to really pick up on the little things if you see the big picture here. Now, I'm going to show you an image that I just ran across recently, and what we've got here is, and this, I'm going to tell everyone, this is in day 1367. That's Sol 1367 if you want to look this up. Now, let me pop this up on here.
Yep.
Doesn't look like much, but it is. Everything in this image is something other than just a rock laying around. First of all, let's look down here.
Lay it on us, brother.
You see where the tracks came through? These are rover tracks. They came in and kind of roughed this up. Look at the, first of all, look at the metal that started getting exposed. Look at the metal here. Now look at this. Now look at
some kind of angle iron right there at the bottom left, maybe.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me too. Look at these segmented pieces. These almost look like they fit together at one time. They're segmented. Mm-hmm. They look fabricated, every bit of this. Now, they're going to be covered with whatever type of sediment, whatever fell on it after this disaster. And tens of thousands of years, there's going to be sediment. But when there's not enough to really cover up things like markings, they go in and do a Photoshop job on the rest of it. But they've left this out here for us to see. Just take a look at that. I don't understand how people can look at this and not understand. I think that there's just a refusal to believe.
It's a cognitive dissonance.
Well, they use that along with, well, why would they even release them at all? They have to release them, first of all. I've gone through this before. They have to release them. It is by law, they have to release these pictures. We pay for them. But nothing says they can't tamper with them, and they do. But that's not the only thing in this image. Okay, I'm going to show you something even I think is even more interesting than that. All of this, everything, and you can see these folds and whatnot coming out from underneath. You see all this metal, and it's covered. You can see little bits of it here, but it's covered. It's covered with other material and a little Photoshop and a little dirt and so forth. Something very, look how flat this is. But I want everyone to look right here. This is something we're discovering more and more of. Do you see this right here?
Mm-hmm.
More inscription, more writing. If you turn that sideways, it looks like S, sort of a C, sort of a funny, I don't know what it is. We've seen this a lot. This is about the 20th one of these. In fact, I'm going to have to make a video of just the top 20 Mars billboards. I don't know. This stuff's really going on. This stuff is really there.
Now, tell me, with all this devastation, on Mars and everything with the ancient calamities of the ancient past. Now, what do you think? I know I may be asking to speculate some because we don't know for 100% fact of what happened, but did some type of, because many researchers have their own theories and speculations out there. But what is your take? Now, did they have some type of ancient cosmic war? You know, Joseph Farrell touched on that, and I also have interviewed him in person a couple of times, and he talks about, you know, the ancient cosmic war, and the elite got the ticket. You know, the rich got the ticket, and they fled Mars, kind of like a interplanetary breakaway civilization, and they came here to Earth. What's your take?
It was war, and prohibited weapons were used. The Xenon 129 is the big indicator. The anomalous levels of it is that it was nuclear. I'll tell you my take.
John Brandenburg talks about that too.
He does. And the thing about him, you know, he comes out with his books like Death on Mars, and the first thing I read is this nutcase, blah, blah, blah. He's not the man. You know, you're going to say that about a man that worked in this industry for years and had the gonads to come out and try to tell people, hey, there's something going on. Of course, he was just big on the face on Mars, was where he got started with all that. But he knew about the isotope anonymous levels. That was kind of kept hush from the rest of us. Not that anybody really cared, I guess, but they should have. I'm going to tell you what I heard. Yes, it was war, and it was less than 100,000 years ago. I'm going to say between 50 and 100,000 years. We'll keep it at that. The survivors were able to escape. They did come here. We are not the offspring of them. We are very similar. I think it's pretty easy to think, if think about one place that has some real similarities, Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
We find a lot of things in these images, and I think I showed you one time, and I've got a guy making a model of it, and we'll bring it up next time. And I think he's calling it, he's been researching this for a while, he's calling it the Egyptian goddess. Of course, we found several statues up there, but this is a big one, and it looks very Egyptian. They were really big on serpentry on Mars, it appears, very big with felines, dogs, and crocodiles. They have a real thing for crocodiles. In fact, where is it? The guy made me a model of one of them. He's going to make me a model of this Egyptian goddess as well. He cast them by hand, but it really helps make things more tangible. I think a lot of them went to Egypt. I think the name Cairo had, what does Cairo mean? It means basically.
That's what I was about to tell you. I think there's a couple of translations. I think one of them is place or camp of Mars. It's something like that.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, man?
Yeah. Well,
it's all swamp gas, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, whether that's why they named it that or not, they are here. And I believe that's where some of them were, at least at one time. Because Mars was mostly uninhabitable, whatever the word is. Couldn't live there. And that's probably why it is so red-orange, you know, the oxidation that's occurred from this catastrophe. That's what would happen if the Earth were wiped out by nuclear weapons. We would turn very orange over thousands of years, many say. So scientists say a lot of things because they think they know, but that's one of them that I believe is probably true. And yes, absolutely. I'm just going to say I believe. I've been told that that's what occurred. Yes, I believe they are here, and I believe their descendants are here. I believe Mars is recovering, because we'll show in other videos later, and we've got a lot of them on our channel. We're finding them all the time through some of the nav cams and whatnot. Even though they're grayscale, black and white, there's water everywhere. There's several. Curiosity rover is following a river. It's been doing it for 20 miles. Been doing it since it's been there. It's following the riverbanks, and that river is in hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures. And you can find them on that site. And in the future, I'll show people more and more where to find them. But I mean, it's just no doubt about it. I mean, there should be no argument. We should be demanding the truth, but we're not going to get it.
Exactly. And well said, Jimmy. And man, I really appreciate your time. And everybody that's watching this on my channel, Jimmy's going to be uploading this also to his channel. But everybody that's watching this on my channel, go to his channel, The Real Jimmy Roberts 1, and subscribe. And follow his work, man. Watch all his videos. He breaks a lot of crazy, mysterious things out there. I don't mean crazy in a bad way. I mean crazy like this shit is being hidden from us intentionally because I don't know what they're afraid of. And maybe we will dive in more into some of those areas and some of those questions that in later videos. But help Jimmy reach 100,000 subs. You know, I think he's at about 88,000 right now. Come on, you're almost there, man. You're almost there. So you'll get that little YouTube censorship button that they hand out for 100,000 subs. But yeah, dude, your work is phenomenal. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you doing these little, I guess, starting to be more of a frequent guest, just like Michael Sala that I just interviewed a couple days ago. And I really appreciate your time, dude. And just keep fighting the good fight, bro. And we will touch on some of these topics later down the road, maybe a week from now. But we will definitely try to touch on some of these unanswered questions that is lurking with Mars.
What I want everyone to realize is one thing: this is tangible. The Martian past, the Martian reality, it has an atmosphere. That's a lie. It has an atmosphere. It is tangible. Extraterrestrials and advanced entities, non-human entities living here, none of it's fantasy. It really is tangible. I know it's tangible. And what we're trying to do, Michael's trying to do a lot of the same here, is bring this to a level to where we can all realize that this is tangible, whether you have seen it with your own eyes or not. Because the more of us that realize this, the better chance we have of getting the truth. Because I think humans deserve to know our true past. And that is something that we are not getting. And we can never reach our full potential if we do not know who we really are. That's being kept from us. That's the thing that the very elite do not want us to know.
Exactly. Well said, Jimmy. And I appreciate it, man. And until next time, we'll be armed and ready, take on the elite cabal. I don't want to say the I word, we might get censored and banned, but, and for everybody, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Jimmy's channel. Let's take on these, I ain't going to cuss on this show, Jimmy, but I ain't going to do it. But, appreciate your time, dude. And we're out, man.